I know you're tired. I know you're hurting. And I wish I could say something that was classy and inspirational.
You can do it!
But that just wouldn't be our style.
Welcome to Project Reclamation, where you rebuild, re-energize, and reclaim your life.
The Big 8-0. The Big 80.
The Big Jerry Rice.
The Big J. Wait, that's not what they called him. The big greatest wide receiver of all time. What's another famous 80 that you can think of? Steve Largent. They're all football players. All hockey players? I don't know who wears number 80.
I have no idea, dude.
The big Estelle Getty.
The big year before, 2 years before Tim was born.
The big Reagan administration.
The big 1 year before Steve and JB were born.
Yeah. I actually don't know of a big famous 80, you know? I mean, Jerry Rice, but like, I don't know of another 80, like a thing in the 80s.
Ronald Reagan?
Yeah. That's about it. That's about all I can think of, you know? But, wow, we made it. Only 20 or more away from the big 100 and 50 away from the big 30.
So you probably noticed this episode's coming out on a Tuesday. If you
Is it Tuesday already? Well, we wanted to honor Labor
it'll
Day.
be Tuesday tomorrow.
Yeah, but we wanted
We're
to
actually
honor
recording this on Labor Day.
Yeah.
But generally speaking, this said Labor Day is a Monday. Generally speaking, this episode would have come out on a Monday. But
we wanted to make sure that you were just barbecuing yourself.
yeah, we didn't want to like interrupt your Labor Day.
No, we didn't.
It's definitely got nothing to do with the fact that we're behind schedule
No.
at all whatsoever.
We want to honor our brothers and sisters that are involved in labor.
Labor.
Childhood labor, like as in birthing, not the child labor.
Child labor.
Not well. I guess we could. We want to bring awareness to child labor, and that's a bad thing. Labor unions.
Yeah, labor and delivery.
Yeah, labor and delivery, absolutely. New moms,
the
new
labors
dads.
of love.
Labors of love. Labour.
Labor. Yeah.
Yep. The French way, I think, of saying labor.
LaCroix.
LaCroix.
Yes.
Ooh, definitely. I don't know. They're not doing so hot, I don't think. I don't know.
Well, all that information came out that they have some chemical or component in their water that's apparently not healthy.
Oh, wow. Boy, that's pretty hard on my ears. That's doing some labor on my ears right now.
Have you been drinking a lot of LaCroix?
No, I don't even touch that stuff. I knew that they had. I kind of knew that they had something.
There's been some sort of. I don't know.
Boy,
just conspiracy going on.
Ooh, another conspiracy. Another sunspiracy. Boy, I'm telling you, we didn't want to interrupt your Labor Day, so we're bringing this to you on a hot track on Tuesday.
However, yesterday, which was Labor Day, our first episode came out of our.
Ooh.
We don't have a name for them yet because we're still waiting on you listeners to come up with a name for said episodes. So far, I'm just calling them Reclamation minisodes. Reclamation.
It just rolls right off the tongue. We're getting warmer. We're getting warmer, folks. So if you're listening to this and you go, boy, I'm telling you, every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday,
come up
Thursday,
with a
Friday.
fucking name, please.
I listen to this stuff and it gets me going.
I read an article.
Muscle pumps.
I read an article.
Reclamation pumps.
About length of podcast, yada, yada, yada. If you want to know more about it, I'm going to write a blog post about it on the Podbelly Network, so go read that. So I'm not going to go too far into it. But basically, one of the things I read about was that there's quite a few podcasts that do a weekly one podcast that's somewhere around an hour long, which is what we do, that are doing a companion piece that's like a daily 5-minute piece. Now, we started doing these yesterday, and 5 minutes sounds great. We are not organized, so ours are more like 6 to 12 minutes. But
Man,
hey,
we never give you the basics.
Either way, it's like a bite-sized morsel of the content that we deliver through Project Reclamation. So, for those of you who enjoy us and want more, here's more for you. For those of you who don't want to listen to a fucking hour of us, now you have 5-minute pieces you can do. And for anyone who wants to just, get a little sample platter, we have that too. So that's something new that we're doing. Anyways, that being said.
And if you've been missing JB's sweet voice,
he's on the 5-minute episode.
JB is killing it. JB, we miss you, babe.
Not only killing it, dude. He's like he texted me and he was like, dude, my ADD has ADD. And I couldn't have put it better myself. Like, dude, JB is excited about these episodes.
I love it.
Super excited.
And yeah, it just gives you a daily opportunity to kind of just stay in touch with the Reclamation and also
So they're
stay on
just-
track with your own.
I was, and doing some research, which maybe I like to do. Apparently, the average drive time from house to work is 26 minutes.
I believe that.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So I figure you get in the car, maybe you make a phone call. So this, 6 to 12 minute episode is kind of perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because honestly, it takes me about 12 minutes to drive from my house to my workplace.
Yeah.
And it takes you about 3 hours to drive from your place all over just for the whole
I mean,
day.
it just depends on where I'm going.
That's true. What's the shortest amount of time you drive?
I mean, if I'm gonna drive to San Diego Podiatry or like your hospital, it takes me 5 fucking minutes.
Ah.
If I'm gonna drive to Bakersfield or Vegas, it takes me 5 fucking hours. So it just depends.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what's better than just having like 3 or 4 of those 10-minute episodes, those 6-minute
No, for
episodes,
sure.
just power through, just get yourself warmed up for an hour
No,
long.
for sure, man. And I like driving.
Yeah.
I don't think I always did. I kind of had to learn to love it. But at this point, I've gotten to the point where it's kind of cathartic. Kind of dig it.
Dude.
So that's kind of one new addition to us. So we themed every day. We have one that's coming out every morning, Monday through Friday. And then we also have a bonus piece that comes out Friday afternoon.
I love it.
So Monday is Motivation Monday. Tuesday is Tips and Tricks Tuesdays.
I thought it was Taco Tuesdays.
Well, that's the evening part. Wednesday is WTF. What the fuck Wednesday?
Wow.
Where we covered like weird kind of trends in motivation or diet or exercise that just don't make fucking sense.
All right.
Thursday is 3-Thing Thursday. We
Oh.
cover 3 things you can do
To
this
make your
morning
Thursday.
or today, whether it's Thursday or you're listening to it a different day.
Yeah.
3 things you can do today that are pretty simple and very doable
That
that
create
will
some
make
good
your
change.
day and your life better.
I love that.
Friday morning, we
Yeah.
have Fit Friday.
Ooh, all
where
right.
we cover anything diet or exercise related.
That's
and then
awesome.
Friday afternoon, we have Fuck It Friday, where we just talk about whatever the fuck we want to talk about, what we're going to do on our weekend. I think the last Fuck It Friday that came out, we literally we ended up talking about brands of tequila
Damn.
and Western bacon cheeseburgers.
Dude,
So-
WBC's from Carl's Jr.'s or Hardee's from whatever part
or
of the country you
Hardee's if
live in.
you're east of the Mississippi. I don't know. That
Delicious. If you haven't had one in a
So
while, go
fucking
treat yourself one. Make
I
sure
haven't
you
had one in a long time.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't had one in probably about 10 years.
Yeah.
But still doesn't mean they're not good. Western bacon cheese.
Dude, that's
Cheese bees.
part of the reason I got fat in the first place.
Well,
anyways,
let's not revisit that then, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, it's all about moderation.
That's true. That's true.
I
Just
can
like
have a Western bacon cheeseburger every once in a while and enjoy it. I don't need to eat 4 of the double version.
Did you ever have a double version Western bacon cheeseburger?
double bacon Western cheeseburger? That was JB and I's thing, dude.
Oh, really?
Double bacon Western cheeseburger.
I didn't even know.
Double bacon Western cheeseburger.
You'd have 2 of them?
No. They had the single and the double. I think
Oh,
they
okay.
still do.
No, but I
Just
didn't know
2
if you
patties.
got 2 doubles.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
Well, you guys played football. You guys
I'm
probably ate
not
like
proud of
crazy.
it. I'm not proud of it, but probably.
Yeah, you know what you're not proud of back then, you just have to own up to right now. Because honestly, that's kind of it, man. I feel like, dude, honestly, I'm so embarrassed about so many things. I was thinking about stuff that I used to do in my past, like whether that be high school or college. And I just think to myself, like, oh, thank God I'm not that way. Like, I think I saw some like young kid this past weekend. He was just like being all mouthy and loud and noisy. And I was like,
Yeah,
oh.
that's tough.
And I just thought to myself, that was me though, like back then
I know.
in high school.
I know.
And that's probably you too. That was probably
Dude,
all
yeah,
of us.
I mean, I remember just like wearing my, on game days, wearing my football jersey around town, thinking I was cool.
Yeah, but that's what you did for high school though. All the high school football players like wore their
Right.
football game jerseys.
And that's fine. I'm not saying what I did was wrong,
Okay.
but thinking I was so cool.
All right.
And now I'd be like, wow, that guy's a high school football. Like,
well, I mean, I think there would be other things that would let you know.
You're so cute.
that he's a
Can't
high
wait
school
till you
football
grow
player.
up and become an adult, you fucking piece of shit. And I guess when you're younger, I don't know. You just you have
You think that you think you know everything.
yeah, you
You
totally
think you
do.
are everything.
right.
And
You don't think you're
have
a
everything.
little kid. You're like, no, I'm grown up, Dad.
Yeah. You're 15 going on 35.
Right.
45,
But
55.
you're
I don't
also
know.
15 going on 16.
Yeah.
In your mind, you're 15 going on 35. And in everyone else's mind, that's like from
You're
the
15
outside.
going on CEO of your next like startup company
In
or
your
whatever.
own mind.
Yeah, absolutely.
But in the actual
Real
sense.
world, you're a
You're 15 going on
15-year-old
16.
who's only had
15
like
and a half.
one job experience
like
at
you've
the
never
local
had a
Dairy
job.
Queen.
You play high school for a
4
fucking
months.
third-rate fucking high school.
Yeah.
You're not that cool. Go get a fucking job.
You had a job at Stampa Barber for a summer.
You'll at some
and-
point you'll turn 26 and you'll
Yeah.
realize that finally you know what it's like to be an adult, and then
I don't even think I knew that at 26. I just knew what it
I
felt
feel
like to be at the
26
bottom
is
of the
kinda
barrel.
like the average age that you can kind of assume someone is truly an adult.
Sure. It depends on where you grow up, though. I swear to God, like, I lived in L.A. when I was like 26.
That's just my personal experience.
Okay. I lived in L.A. when I was 26, and I felt like there were still 50-year-old, looked to be 50-year-old people, older-ish people that were still showing up to the bars and clubs on like a Tuesday. You know what I mean? Like during like industry, whatever night it was, wearing Ed Hardy hats and like
feel like you can't-
bedazzled jeans.
I don't know that
Get
you
the fuck
can
out of
make
here.
any assumptions on average anything based on LA. Because LA is just it's
LA's an
own
outlier.
fucking beast.
It calls to like people that want to still forever want to be 21.
It's like PB, dude.
Yeah.
Go
I
to
guess.
PB and you'll see 63-year-old men wearing leather bracelets and frosted tips.
Yeah.
And they just got back from surfing all day.
Yeah.
How they pay their bills, I don't know.
Oh, they have that studio apartment rent control from
Maybe that's it.
from the
Maybe that's
1980s. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's weird.
I pay $450 a month from a studio apartment on 24th and Law, and you're like, get out of here, man. Oh, I'm telling you. God, dude, I swear to God. But whatever it is, the point of the story is
But it's
that
LA is kind of interesting because it's like it's a diversity of people that all come together.
with the
and
same kind of
act
goal.
like children together.
With the same kind of goal to be young, to be always young.
Yeah.
I'm jealous.
Forever
young. I wanna be forever young. I don't know. Neil Diamond?
Bruce Springsteen,
Sting? I don't know.
Joe Walsh.
We're just naming names.
We are. We don't even care.
We don't even Aladdin soundtrack. We were just throwing stuff out there.
I can show you the world.
'Cause I am forever young. See what I did there? I just threw it in there.
Dude,
I didn't
that's
even know.
By the way,
Remix.
Oh wait, no, I can't talk about that.
Uh-oh.
Someone's gonna steal our idea.
Oh.
I was gonna mention those screenplay, the
musical.
Broadway musical ideas, but then I'm like, no.
That's another
gonna keep
project
those
worked
to
on by Project
myself.
Reclamation.
We have so many projects going on. In case you haven't noticed, like, it was hard to not tell you guys about the Podbelly thing before it happened.
Bam.
So
That's a secret.
that was a secret. B, it was hard to not tell you about the fucking minisodes coming out.
boom, boom,
Which,
boom.
by the way, I don't love minisodes. So please email us.
Yep.
Come up with a better name.
Yep.
If you're the one we choose, we will probably send you some awesome shit. So get on top of that.
10-minute
Come on.
timeouts.
Seriously.
That's a name right there. That's better
10-minute
than
timeout.
That's better than the mini episodes. 6-packs.
There's six
Yeah.
of them a week, so why not the fuck 6-pack?
Yeah, dude. Your weekly 6-pack. You know,
Weekly 6-pack.
Who knows? That's better than mini episodes.
Weekly
minisodes.
fucking fuck. I don't.
Yeah, that's even better.
I just completely.
Anything you
I
think
have
of.
completely spiraled into stupidity.
Yeah.
I can't even come up with words. So weekly fuck is all I got.
That's even better, though, than anything that we originally have. So if you're thinking about something and you want to email us, hit us up at the Gmail. Hit us up now, baby. We want to hear from you. We're actually still trying to find out who actually created that sweet, sweet song. And we're looking.
I'm actually not.
Oh, you're swiping right. I see a bunch of swipe rights and swipe lefts.
No, I'm working on it. Hold
Oh,
on.
everybody.
What was it? Forever
He's-
Young?
yeah.
Forever young. Forever young.
I wanna be-
can show you the world.
Yep, the Aladdin. It's by
Shining shimmering.
Robin Williams?
Forever young.
That is
Wow.
definitely it. That's it. That's gold. Cut, print.
I
it's on
want to
wax.
be where the people are.
Wow. Isn't that Beauty and the Beast?
No, that was I think that was Ariel.
Oh, okay.
By the way, I was talking to my sister this morning.
Go on.
Shannon, shout out to Shannon.
Yep.
And she was talking about this mermaid trend.
Okay.
Apparently, there's a lot of people who are like post shit on Instagram and Facebook, and they're like living the mermaid life.
What the hell's that?
I don't fucking know.
A half in water,
Apparently,
half
there's
out?
also these like you can take classes or do photo shoots with
As a mermaid with like
in
a
a
tail.
pool with a fucking mermaid tail.
Okay. Huh. I don't know what to think about that.
I don't know either. I'm so confused. I got to be honest. I love cryptids and mythological creatures and shit.
Sure.
And mermaids may exist, but I got to be honest, if they did exist, they probably wouldn't look like Ariel.
No.
They'd probably be some weird
Alien-like
fish human
thing. Yeah.
alien hybrid, and it probably wouldn't be hot at all.
How is this like? Because I know the
and
manatee.
Where does a mermaid go to the bathroom, and where
In the
is
ocean.
her? Like, if mermaids are so hot, I don't really want to go down this road, but I've already started. So,
All right.
where's
I don't know where you're
the
going.
sex organs?
Oh,
How do you have sex with a mermaid?
I don't know if you
Sorry, Mom.
should want to have intercourse with a mermaid. Why would you?
I mean, I got to be honest. I would, if Ariel was real, I'd have sex with Ariel.
Wow,
But
that's
where?
How? This is dense. I don't even know if I should engage in this
These are
conversation.
things I wonder.
No, but like I thought it was just a cartoon. Like in one, I don't know.
You're telling me there's no cartoon character that you couldn't extrapolate if that was real.
Well,
I would totally be attracted.
Wasn't
to
the
that?
reason why Jessica Rabbit was made because like Jessica Rabbit was the cartoon?
Isn't Jessica Rabbit attractive?
On as a cartoon lady. I mean, Roger Rabbit was all zonkers about her.
If you,
I have no
if you
idea how
took
that rabbit
cartoon-
got to be with Jessica
Okay,
Rabbit.
so we could take you, Steve.
Okay,
I could
yeah.
take a picture of you.
No
put
doubt.
it in Photoshop.
All
I
right.
could make you into cartoon.
Already has been.
Reverse that process.
Okay.
Take Jessica Rabbit,
All right.
the cartoon.
Yep.
Reverse the cartooning process.
Okay.
And make
Put that
her
a real
into
human
a real
being.
person.
Oh yeah, she'd probably be a very very attractive woman.
She's basically she's a redhead Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah, that's yeah. I mean, Marilyn Monroe is like universally like seen as a
Yeah,
very
so
very
she's
attractive
just a
woman.
redheaded Marilyn Monroe. Nothing special. She's basically what's her name? Jennifer. January. Who's the chick for? Yeah, January Jones. Is that the chick from Mad Men? She's a very busty redhead.
You know what? When I look at January Jones, I don't see her as a very very busty person. No, I know who you're talking about. It's not
On Mad Men, there is a
there's
extremely busty
I forgot
redheaded actress.
I forgot what her name is. I'm sorry, but she's in another Netflix thing. But yeah, that's not January Jones, but it definitely is the other lady.
We're gonna see what happens when I type in Mad Men busty redhead.
It probably only comes up as one name. It has to be the only person. I hope it's not like it's I don't even know.
I feel like by typing that in, I just froze my phone.
Oh, classic Android.
Thanks government / Verizon.
I know.
Mad Men.
I will say that like I don't think I've ever looked at a Disney princess and been like, whoa, yeah, I want to get it on with that Disney princess.
No. Don't make it sound like I like rewind and rewatch scenes from fucking The Little
Ariel,
Mermaid
yeah,
and
Little
like
Mermaid.
do terrible things. No, that's not what I'm saying at all. That's not what I'm saying.
pervert.
What I'm saying is I haven't seen that movie or part of it in
But if she was a real life
years.
person,
But remembering what she looked like,
I mean,
I could
no.
extrapolate the fact that I think if she were a real person,
yeah, no, she's an attractive person
she's attractive.
because isn't that whole
Also
thing?
is Jasmine and Belle and probably every fucking Disney fucking princess.
Yeah, but isn't it the purpose of that movie? Wasn't it that purpose of the movie? Because like, wasn't John Smith like falling in love with Ariel and like that's what
Dude,
happened?
you're mixing Pocahontas and fucking Little Mermaid.
Oh, I don't know. Whatever the ship
I
captain.
think his name was Eric.
or Eric or
She
whatever.
wanted to be a person. She
Whatever.
wanted to be a human.
All right, Captain Jack Sparrow, whoever it is.
Dude, so basically
fell in
Ariel
love.
had to like go into Davy Jones' locker, and then she wanted to marry Captain Jack Sparrow.
Classic.
Or who was probably more so like Orlando Bloom's character.
Yeah. I don't know his
Because
name either.
apparently he goes.
Boy, in my
paddleboarding
mind,
and-
once these things are out of the once they're, I swear to gosh,
No, man.
I swear to gosh, it doesn't mean you're doing a bad job, Disney.
Christina Hendricks.
Yes, Christina Hendricks, that's her name.
So basically,
That's like a
Jessica
real
Rabbit
life
is a
version.
cartoon version of Christina Hendricks.
Yeah, no, I'd agree with that. And yeah, Christina Hendricks is a very, very she's
Well, they play her. They doll her up in Mad Men.
sure, and they doll her down in other
She
movies.
was in.
too.
What was it? Was it Castle Rock? I think she was in.
Probably. I don't know that
She
one.
was in something I just watched. I think it was Castle Rock, and
right.
she was a much more realistic version of a person.
Sure.
Like she was like a reporter
Sure.
who wore like normal clothes and
Yeah.
like not a bunch of makeup and didn't have her cleavage just on
Strewn about.
fucking presentation for
Yeah.
everyone. And I mean, I kind of prefer her like in the latter personally, but I mean, she's an attractive woman regardless.
No, for sure. I think that she carries herself well in all of her roles, but she's an actress.
But I feel like if you turn Christina Hendricks into a cartoon,
she's Jessica Rabbit.
Is Jessica
I get
Rabbit.
you. And I would agree on that because it's a very, very voluptuous, like kind of redheaded character.
Yeah,
you know
it's
what
a
I mean?
redheaded Marilyn
Just
Monroe.
like there's a buff Asian dude, ripped, dieseled, good with the ladies. You know what I mean? Just uber successful.
Yeah, like
that's obviously
what's
me.
his name?
That's obviously me. Urkel.
What's his name? Lee.
From, Bruce Lee.
The Jungle Book.
Mowgli. Mobley?
Jason Scott Lee.
Oh, Jason Scott Lee.
Dude, he's a great person to hang around. He's a
Probably. That guy hasn't been in a movie in a while, hasn't he?
Well, I don't know. That he made that Jungle Book that he made was like probably 15 years ago.
Oh, yeah. All right. Well, either which way, that's just it. There's a real life
And
character.
Bruce Lee's a great example too. There's a ripped Asian dude.
Yeah.
There's a lot
wait,
of them.
was
Dude.
there a
You got
comic
Jet
book
Li,
character?
you got Jackie Chan, you got
No. But like we're talking about comic book characters or comic characters, cartoon characters that turn into that thing. I don't know, but either which way, you have all those dudes from like Street Fighter and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and then you like
got
switch them over to
Ryu.
real life.
I mean, he was like the main character
Ong
from
Bak,
that.
that one dude who's like just like the guy who played all those
Well, I
things
feel like
against
depending on
Jean-Claude
which
Van Damme.
comic you're talking about, they get really into like the Asian culture in some
Sure.
of them. Not
Sure.
all of them.
How do we get talking about this?
Not Iron Man, but definitely like Iron Fist or like any of the ones where they get into like the hand and like
Yeah. Either which way, I'm gonna be very honest.
whatever,
with you.
dude. You could rock the triad all day long.
Probably. Either which way, it's kind of a cool thing that I guess. Yeah, I don't know. That definitely wasn't saying that you're like sexualizing Ariel, but at the same time,
No. It wasn't like, oh God, I want to have sex with Ariel so bad. It's just a thought crossed my
Sounds so
mind,
gross.
like, well, God, if you were to, like, how would
would
the
you be able to
physics
do
of it? How would that work?
it is so gross to actually hear it said. But you know, at the same time, it is really.
Well,
really
no,
important.
that's the thing. It is kind of gross because you're like, oh wow, she's super attractive, but you're looking at her face and torso, but then you're like, but if you were to engage in said act, and I'm sorry, Mom, again, but literally the bottom half of her is a fucking fish.
Yeah, and by the looks of it,
So as much as you might wonder that, at the same time, I can't help but think,
how do you make that happen?
well, and it's
Physically
it's just kinda
or
gross, to be
naturally
perfectly
or
honest.
whatever. No, absolutely.
There's a gross aspect to it.
I guess that people like Ariel because of her
know, man.
personality. I don't know. It doesn't matter.
And personality is important.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, she's a cartoon.
No, fucking in general, Steve.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Yes.
I totally get it.
Because
Trust me,
I
that's
don't know.
how I've
maybe,
been able to
maybe
succeed.
not when I was 19 or 17 or 22, but at this point in my life, at least, I think I've amassed enough wisdom to realize that
Personality
a
is way
girl
important.
can be as beautiful as a girl could possibly be,
Sure,
and if
girls
there's
and
no
guys can be-
personality there,
Yeah.
I can't even get on board with that anymore,
Yeah.
dude.
You know what's
And
so
I think
fun?
that's a good thing.
Yeah. One time I was at that In Cahoots place. Rest in peace, In Cahoots.
Where are they gone? Did they close?
Yeah, they're closed.
Oh, dude,
I
that
know.
sucks.
And then someone had mentioned to me, she was like, "Save me!" And I was like, it was one of my like EMT friends, and I was like, "Oh, okay, cool. What's up?" And he's like, "This guy keeps on talking to me," and I was like, "Oh, well, I mean, you know, chances are you shouldn't, you know, like run away. You should probably just say, hey, thank you for like, you know, starting a conversation. I'm gonna go hang out with my friends. It was nice to speak to you. That way you can kind of let him down easy." And then, and then she's like, "No, all he wants to do is talk to me about sports." And I was like, "Oh yeah, I've seen guys like that too." And so it's like so important that guys have kind of cool personalities. It's like the art of conversation, right? That's why like these geishas were kind of around way back when. It's like to have the art of conversation. It was like, oh, you can play any musical instrument, and you had this wealth and depth of social knowledge, you know, that was like really, really great for them to just kind of sit with and talk with, and maybe they couldn't get that anywhere else. So these Japanese men or warriors or whoever else were like sponsoring that. And I think it's the same way today. Like people love people who are just fascinating and worldly of sorts, men or women,
sure.
you know? And so,
Then there's people who have.
and imagine if you were a real life Ariel and you knew all about the underworld, under the sea world, Ursula, to Poseidon, fish, tropical fish, dolphins, all that stuff.
Yeah, and like,
blow
dude,
my mind.
I mean, she had to have been friends with like Submariner and Aquaman.
Yeah,
I can
absolutely.
imagine.
She was friends with Flounder and Sebastian, so absolutely.
Well, yeah,
Why
yeah.
wouldn't she be friends with Submariner?
Well, no, she
now?
was totally friends with Aquaman and Submariner. Now,
Right.
Aquaman they could never put in the movie because that's DC, but Submariner, I feel like Disney didn't own Marvel back then,
Sure.
so they couldn't put him in the.
Do they own
movie
Marvel now?
for sure?
Oh, okay.
100%.
Disney owns a lot of things now. What am I talking about?
I feel like I've never seen Aquaman, but I heard DC fucked it up, just like they fucked up every comic movie they've made in the recent history. Even Suicide Squad, which was a fucking no-brainer.
Ah,
to make
shit.
and not
This is
screw
going to
up.
be terrible.
Well, hold on. All I'm saying is...
Our newest sponsor is DC Com. This is terrible. I'm sorry.
Shit.
I'm sorry, guys.
All I'm saying is Marvel just, for whatever reason, better writing, better casting. I don't know what the algorithm is, but Marvel just seems to be better at making an enjoyable comic book movie than DC. So, that being said, I feel like because Submariner is basically the Marvel equivalent to Aquaman.
All right.
They actually came up with that character a few years before DC came up with Aquaman. However, if you did watch Aquaman with Jason Momoa, who I actually love as an actor, and you enjoyed it, that's actually very much more modeled after Submariner than it is modeled after Aquaman. All that being said, I think that Marvel should make a Submariner movie just to make it better than DC made Aquaman, just to say fuck you.
I didn't even know there was a I didn't even
Oh
know
my
there was a
God,
character
so much
named Submariner.
stupid knowledge that I just spit into this microphone.
Damn.
That says-
Those years of
That
Comic-Con
only
are
says
paying
that
off.
I have too much time on my hands, which isn't actually true.
Get a job, hippie.
I just don't sleep, so I spend time researching.
What does
shit that
Submariner
doesn't
look like?
matter.
Just for
So
our
Aquaman wears
listening.
like this like bright green and bright yellow. He has like ultra blonde hair, and he's slightly flamboyant.
Okay.
Submariner has like the whole like eyeshadow thing and dark long hair.
Are those
He has,
goggles? It's like eyeshadow. It's not just goggles.
I don't know. He just looks like he's wearing eyeshadow.
All right.
Just basically, dude, look at Jason Momoa from the movie Aquaman.
Yeah.
That's what Submariner looks like.
Oh, then they basically took
They
Submariner.
basically just ripped off Submariner.
Classic.
To make a darker, like edgier Aquaman.
Love it.
Because Aquaman was very like 1960s, 1970s. Like he had the blonde, the side part. Like he kind of looked like if you took, what's his name from fucking Scooby-Doo and put him in some like a
What was his name? Ted?
I don't know. The pretty boy.
The main leader.
fucking
Hey, Scoops. Not Shaggy.
Sweater like tied around his neck.
Yeah.
What?
Fred.
Yeah, Aquaman basically
I was close with Ted.
looked like if you took Fred and put him in a skin tight, like a scuba sleeveless, like scuba. What do you call that thing? A wetsuit.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm fucking stupid today.
You know what's so funny?
Put Fred in a sleeveless green and yellow wetsuit,
Boom.
and that's what Aquaman looked like.
Dude, you know what's so funny, man? Is that speaking of just like Scooby-Doo, there was never a better actor. Thinking about actors that were like, kind of in real life people and stuff like that. Whoever the guy was that played Shaggy in those Scooby-Doo movies was the perfect person.
It was the guy from Scream. What is his name?
Matthew Lillard.
Matthew Lillard.
He was like born for that role. Like when he was born, they're like, oh shit, this guy actually is Shaggy. And he later became
100%,
Shaggy.
100%.
That's like the combination. That's where we connect everything.
I will say that I think Robert Downey Jr. was equally as born to play Tony Stark.
Oh, okay. I don't think I followed those comics enough.
So I followed
like,
two.
Scooby-Doo.
I literally read two comics when I was a kid.
Okay.
And it was Punisher
And Garfield. And the Sunday
Iron
Papers.
Man.
Oh, okay.
So I don't have a lot of way back knowledge on a lot of comics, but that's one of the two that I do.
Nice.
So, I think Robert Downey Jr. nails the whole Tony Stark persona perfectly,
Nice.
and he kind of looks exactly like him, so
That's cool, man.
it works.
That's a little Project Reclamation. Now you know.
We really need to get into our topic because,
Bro, you know what Tony Stark was, man? He was a leader. He was an authoritarian
So
kind of
leaders
person.
have some power, but I
Yeah.
feel like a true leader knows how to use that power
Probably.
and doesn't like squander it, nor do they abuse it.
Yeah. Dude, I'm telling you.
But
Yeah?
if you put the same amount of power
Go on.
in the wrong hands,
Okay.
there could be some bad repercussions.
Ah, man.
So this topic came up
Because
actually this morning
Yes.
because Steve had to use an airport
Yep.
or two.
That's right.
So
the DIA.
You can do the creepiest fucking most conspiracy ridden airport in the fucking country.
The one thing I'll say is that when people earn spots of leadership, I think that people look up to them and they realize that they've been through the walk. They've been through the mud. They've been in the foxhole. They've been in the trenches, so to speak. And it's not just a war reference. It's anybody that started off in the mailroom or started off just running papers or running tape or running anything like that, and they built themselves up. But today I witnessed something, and God forbid if anyone listening, I'm not here to insult you, but at the same time, I am here to make a comment that, I ran into some TSA members. Those Transportation Security Administration. That's exactly what it stands for, I think. And with that being said, it was just, they were a little bossy. They were a little directive. Yeah, it's pretty much it. Now, there are some TSA people, like in Santa Barbara, California. If you go to their airport there, they're really relaxed. I think they just got off of the beach, and they're like, whoa, hey, what's up? Yeah, it's over there. Just come here and then, walk through this thing. And then, we're just going to x-ray you. But then I swear to God, even from the very gate when they check your, plane ticket, they're like, hey, come on. They, wave you up. They don't even hi, good morning. They just go, ugh. And I'm like, whoa, bro, okay, that's fine. And then there's this one lady who was boss, and she was like, hey, over here, everyone, come on. Everyone get in line, hurry up, all right, everyone, follow the exits. You don't need to wait. And it's like, holy smokes, what are you, you're some person, leading me into, this, I don't know, into this line of doom here. And I'm like, okay. And they're like, okay, go now. And it's like, oh my God, dude, say please, say thank you, just be courteous, just have, a little bit of human.
No, I have power.
And exactly, I felt like, someone, they're entrusted with power, and all of a sudden, that gives you the right to just be an asshole. And I get it, that job is stressful. And I get it, you have the American security. Really, you have the security of America on your fingertips.
So the TSA was formed, was it?
After 9/11.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Homeland Security and the TSA were both formed around the same time. And the point of the TSA, correct me if I'm wrong, but is to keep security for traveling and ideally prevent something like a 9/11 of happening.
Yeah,
right?
you had some stupid idiot.
But
who,
what was it?
Put some bomb in
a few years ago, they did some organization did some undercover study, and they had a bunch of mock bombs and weapons,
what you could get through TSA.
Right. And the TSA agents missed, I think, 95% of the shit.
It just they were honestly the biggest assholes
I
today.
piss on you, haha.
And I don't think I've ever had a great
Was this
encounter.
at DIA?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think I've ever had a great encounter. It's they just seem to be overworked, overstressed.
I think it depends on the city and the airport as well.
Well, even when I was in St. Petersburg, Florida, they were just
but San Diego, they're pretty chill.
They're pretty chill. They're oh, at least someone said
Santa Barbara, they're super chill. I think it's because it's
small town airport.
It's small town airport.
Yeah,
and they're
all
okay,
right, cool.
I realize nobody gives a fuck what's going on.
Yeah. If you bomb Santa Barbara airport, we're just going to
kill 12 people.
Yeah, maximum. And then we're just going to build another one 3 times as big. In fact, that's what we've been trying to get, is we've been trying to get this place demolition.
Well, yeah, but we're
so we
waiting
can build another
for,
place.
the Oprah or something.
But it was just people who are just kind of
to donate the money to
exactly.
build it.
People that were just kind of
Lebowski Airport.
People that were just kind of just entrusted with this, oh, well, you kind of passed our basic qualifications and it's a federal job or whatever. Here you go. Now this gives you the right to just be an asshole to everybody. You're a wannabe cop. I don't know. It's it's
You said cop, so you just open up a door.
Well, no, it's just and you, we had talked about this, is that sometimes people who want certain jobs, end up getting certain jobs, right? Maybe you're bullied in high school. Maybe you were teased around in high school too much. And you say, well, I can't wait to get a job of some authority so I can really, really stick it back or hand it back to some other people that were treating me poorly when I was younger. And maybe you seek a job like this. Or maybe you always have this chip on your shoulder, man, I always wanted to have the rules and I always wanted to be the boss. And then you go after jobs like this that kind of, I feel like you've maybe been gifted this job of power and maybe you've earned it. Maybe you've gone through all the training and you've gone through all the mandated tutorials on what to look for. But I don't know. It doesn't also give you the right to just be an asshole or lose that human quality or characteristic. It almost lets you know that I've been through this A, B, and C training, and it's almost like you toss out that other reasoning or rationale, and you say, well, so long as I just follow A, B, and C, I'm just always going to be fine. Now, haven't you ever thought about this though too? I want to spin your mind just one step closer. You and I have been to the Humane Society, right? Uh-huh. And we've seen some beautiful, wonderful people there. Okay, taking care of animals and stuff like that. That's in their nature. I feel like you don't randomly get a job there if you hate animals.
No.
Maybe you're doing some community service or something like that. You got in trouble for prison or whatever, but maybe you can choose to pick up trash.
Crime-mandated community service.
Crime-mandated community service at the Humane Society, the shelter, right?
You know what, though? Some of those dudes, I probably I don't know, for some reason there's something about this hardcore gangster dude that just happens to connect really well with dogs.
Yeah, maybe that's it. Like, right?
know.
But there's something in you that chooses or seeks that kind of like, I want to be caring, I want to be giving, I want to be loving towards animals. Or something
Yeah,
like
for
that.
sure.
And that's what you do. And I feel like people who go to these shit jobs, and I'm gonna call it that for right now, because honestly, like, I get it that you're protecting America and their luggage and baggage, and you're keeping us safe. Sure, I don't want to be on a plane when a bomb goes off. Absolutely.
No. But I mean, I think everything you're saying and the point you're making regarding the TSA agents, like, it kind of filters over into, like, I think there's a lot of police officers that fit the same mold.
Sure.
Highway patrol.
I've met amazing police officers. I've been pulled over by an amazing police officer.
And I've had some pretty cool interactions with certain TSA agents. But
Yeah.
I do think they are both the hotbeds for people who either maybe they didn't do it on purpose, but they get a little bit of power or perceived power.
Yeah.
And it turns them into a fucking bully.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then I think you have people who do it on purpose because they've never had any power to bully people, or maybe they've been bullied, and that's their revenge on the world. Is
You've
I'm
taken
gonna
my
be a
sentiment.
fucking dick.
Yeah. You've taken my sentiment and you've actually put it you put it more eloquently, and I couldn't even say it. I'm so jazzed
And that's
up.
why for this episode we didn't quote it completely because we didn't want to get sued
legal
by
purposes.
Marvel/Disney. However, we wanted to kind of borrow, and I'll give them credit so we don't get sued, but a line from one of the original Spider-Man movies, and it probably came from the comic. I don't know. Spider-Man was never my fucking bag, but with great power comes great responsibility.
Bro, I couldn't even have said better. You know what's so funny is that I've met some wonderful people who take on that responsibility and say, hey, I am entrusted to keep, to protect and to serve. Okay. And they really,
For sure, dude.
and they genuinely do that. They go out in the community, they bond with the community, they make relationships and inroads in with the community, and that's great. And then if you happen to do something wrong, like I did something wrong one time, and I got pulled over and I got properly ticketed for it, absolutely. But I think the whole time I was like, oh, I was a little bit on the more apprehensive side because I didn't know what was next. And the whole time the officer spoke to me like a human being. And I was like, hey, this is what happened. I do have to cite you for this, and maybe it's something that you have to, kind of be more cautious about next time if it should ever happen again. Absolutely. And from there on out, every single time I drive that same route, I'm always like, oh, crap. I didn't need someone bad-mouthing me or being an asshole or being a jerk.
I mean, authority is their job.
Absolutely.
But authority to use their authority to protect people in general. I feel like
authority is their job to instill the rules, right? But to instill the rule doesn't mean you need to be an asshole like doing it. Well, they're gonna learn this way.
Give me a ticket. Don't give me a ticket.
Yeah,
treat me
give
like
me
a
a ticket.
fucking
Don't give me
human being.
attitude, right? And it's
Exactly.
like, give me a ticket. Don't give me. Don't give
you
me
know
the
what?
bull
And I
horns.
understand. There's people who give police officers or TSA agents attitude off the bat. They're asking for an issue.
Yeah, absolutely.
I have the common sense to know that giving them attitude from the get-go is not going to be pleasant for anybody. So I treat them very well because I try to make things as smooth as possible. Yeah. When that gets the response of a bully and an asshole, and don't get me wrong, I know how to be a bully and an asshole.
Oh,
I'm pretty good at it. When I
you're the
want
best.
to.
You're Hall of Fame.
But I never put that out there at the beginning. So when that's what I get back, I automatically lose all respect for that person. But also, understanding how shit works, I just let it go and I just do whatever my brain tells me I need to do to make this interaction as quick and fucking painless as possible for everyone. So, yeah, I'll come out of that like a little bitch because guess what? I win because I know that I made that an 8-minute interaction instead of a fucking 40-minute interaction where some guy had to put gloves on and stick his fingers up my ass. So, but yeah, I mean, it's just
I don't know if that's ever happened to you before. My God,
no, because I'm not that dumb.
But you're not that dumb. Yeah,
but I know that's a possibility.
No, for sure. And you realize that they held all the cards. But with that, it's like just because you hold all the cards doesn't mean that you need to always just fucking ruin the game here a little bit. And I think that's a little bit about what's happening here a little bit too. Now, I will tell you, if you're listening to this and you have a family member as an officer, you have a family member as a TSA agent or whatever it is, I'm not.
We're not saying they're all bad.
We're not saying that they're all bad, but it's just one, like what's the greatest old school term that I always even kind of use every single time? One bad apple can ruin the bunch, right? you have one asshole cop or one asshole incident or one bad incident, guess what? All of a sudden, all police officers are bad? No. But that's how it's kind of maybe being portrayed recently.
That's perception, though.
Yeah, it's like, okay, TSA agents, like, you can not be a fucking burnout that didn't make the police academy or didn't make whatever academy or doesn't, like, live at home or, is just trying to do a federal job and you can not be an asshole and still, like, direct traffic.
Their PR
to, like,
department
the X-ray.
fucking sucks, though. Because, like, I've never heard a story, and I've had good interactions with TSA agents. They're not all bad by any means, but their reputation as a whole is terrible. Like, nobody has good stories to tell you about the TSA. It's only bad stories.
I don't think of a good interaction that I've had individually, with anyone from a TSA. I don't think I've ever been like, wow, that guy went above and beyond. Like,
I've had a few
that have someone's went above and beyond.
I travel a lot, so I've had a lot of just. It's like half people who are dicks, like we're talking about, that abuse power, and I think just. I got to be honest, a lot of government jobs just attract fucking people who just want to clock in and clock out and put zero effort into shit. And I feel like the DMV and the TSA are two places where I think you see that.
You can get those government,
often,
sweet government
jobs. Not all the time, but often.
Sure. And that's, dude, it's just like, it's any kind of government job that I think sometimes people are just like, all right, cool. Well, so long as I do this for the next 30 years of my life, I'm good on my retirement and my pension. And that's fine. But just
that's fine, dude. Go through the motions. But, dude, if so I guess what I'm saying is, I've ran into some great TSA agents, but part of that probably comes from the fact that my standards are so fucking low. The bar is so low that the best limboer in the world, limbo champion, do they have those?
Yeah.
Couldn't fucking limbo under this bar because it's so low.
So low.
So, like, literally, if a TSA agent smiles and asks me how my day is, I'm like, oh my God, you're
Holy
a human.
shit.
This is insane. What the fuck just happened?
I gotta tweet this. Oh my God.
And you know what? And I say this jokingly, but it's actually happened where literally, if someone just does that much, I'm like, hey, like, do you have a card? Can I write an email to somebody or like whatever?
Saying that you're doing a bang up job, yeah.
And I've done that.
Wow.
Just because someone literally smiled, said hi, and they acted like a human and treated me and the people, that were in line near me like humans. And I was like, oh my God, this is amazing.
Yeah.
It's like, I've only had the shittiest cheesecake in my entire life. So this sort of, very, very average tasting cheesecake is the best shit I've ever tasted.
It's the best thing I've ever tasted. Man, I swear, it's like, I think, it's funny because there's a famous chef, David Chang, and he talks about Chinese food.
Is he related to you?
No.
Oh,
I wish. But he talks about Chinese food, and he's almost like, you know what? When people go to Chinese food restaurants, like real ones, not P.F. Chang's, and you go to
so real one's more like Panda Express.
No, not Panda Express. I was gonna say, or like Wok Noodle, or whatever shitty fast food one you can think of. But when you go to like a real Chinese food, like Szechuan Gardens, or
what's that one in Goleta? Mandarin
Ming Dynasty.
Ming Dynasty.
Yeah. So you go to places like that.
With the fucking Lazy Susan.
Yeah, well, here's what it is. It's like he was saying that Chinese food is relatively seen as like cheaper-esque kind of food, right? It's like, it's hard to go like 5-star Chinese food, right? Because like people don't think about that. But in addition to the service is also like kind of on the lower scale too. Like if you don't get like some like shitty service, like no smiles, no frill, here your food, and just drop it down on the
some
Lazy
of the better
Susan.
Chinese restaurants Chinese food in general is more like a family style.
No, but it's just like
Chinese restaurants where you can each person orders their own entree, but I feel like Chinese food lends itself to the idea that we're going to order X number of entrees and we're going to take a little bit of each.
Sure,
and
yeah.
eat it family style.
But no, that's like the service, though. The service is what, like, the takeaway for me is that, like, he said it best, and I was, like, I agreed. Even with real Chinese people, sometimes Chinese, when, like, at, like, a real Chinese food restaurant, the service is just shitty, and that's how you, like, kind of, like, that's your baseline of what you expect. You're like, okay, like, the service is kind of what it is, And so you walk away from it feeling like, oh, crap. If someone was really nice, you'd be like, oh, crap, what was wrong? Like, oh, my gosh, I don't know. That's not what I expect from, like, a Chinese food restaurant.
Shitty walk.
I know. And so it's just like with TSA agents, like, it's like, okay, you have this faux authority. And it's like, okay, you walk around with a big belt buckle now, and you're going to boss people around because you can, because that's what you want to do, because you figure that this is a captive audience. And so if someone's actually really nice, or someone varies, or someone like kind of goes away from that trend, one, you're like, oh crap, you do notice it, and it's like, oh my God, it is shocking, it is unbelievable.
So I'm going to try to spin this to a positive, which
which we always do at Project
Reclamation.
Reclamation.
Happen to be a TSA agent, or you happen to be a law enforcement person.
Be better.
In this vein, I think Steve and I do represent the average sentiment towards law enforcement in general. And I think if you're a cop, I'm sorry, your reputation in general has gone way downhill. You used to protect and serve. Now I feel like you're filling a quota to go write some tickets. However, here's my positive point, and here's my tip for the day. People's standards are so fucking low that it would be really easy for you to come off as the nicest, coolest cop or TSA agent or mall cop or whatever, period. Just be nice. You know, if you got to write someone a ticket, write them a ticket. Most of us really don't mind. If I was speeding, I don't mind if you write me a ticket. It's not that much of a problem. Here's my two concerns. Please don't treat me like a piece of shit. And please don't make it take any more time than it has to, because I'm probably speeding because I'm on my way somewhere. So I'm happy to accept the ticket. I will call you sir. I will be respectful. But you don't need to make it any worse than it needs to be.
I would say this, too, if we're going to make a spin on this. How about this? I know that it's very, very difficult and trying, right? You don't know what the situation is. I have certainly a friend's brother who's a CHP person, right? And he's just like an officer.
I understand that they're walking into a minefield every single time they pull someone over.
That maybe puts you on edge already. You're like,
personally, that's why. I mean, I'm probably a little bit over the top with the yes sir, no sir. Like, hey, like, I just whatever needs to happen. I just want to take care of it. Totally respect you. If I was doing something wrong, I'm happy to own up to that. And usually for me, like, and this is going to make me sound like a total asshole, and I probably am, but it's just the time thing. It's like, dude, if this takes a half an hour, that is so fucking frustrating. Give me the goddamn ticket. If it's $300, if it's $100, just give me the fucking ticket.
Wow, Tim is balling out of control. It doesn't matter. How about this? You know, you've heard of this thing.
No. I might fight it later, but the point is, like, if I'm speeding, I'm probably cutting a time crunch to an appointment somewhere, you know? Like, if I have to drive to La Jolla, I'm not speeding. If I'm speeding, it's because I'm driving to Riverside. You know, it's a 90-mile drive. There's a little bit of traffic. I only gave myself an hour and 40 minutes, and some sort of accident or me having to get gas has taken 15 minutes off of my time to get there. So now I'm running 5 minutes behind. So yeah, I'm speeding a little bit. So if you're pulling me over,
if you're going to pull Tim over,
if you're pulling me over, it takes another 20 minutes.
Do it quickly.
Then I'm late as fuck, and I'm just like, dude, please. But the bottom line is, and it goes both ways. Like, I understand there's people who are in our situation, the ones getting pulled over, who give the cops attitude, and you're just feeding the fires of a shitty interaction. Don't do that. And for the cops, if someone is actually nice and civil to you, just be nice and civil back. I don't know.
Yeah. How about this? It's like
the bar is pretty fucking low. So if you want to impress all of us, it's going to be pretty fucking easy to do these days.
I remember taking a social psychology class, and I've heard this in like so many different realms as well, but it's a Stanford experiment. I don't know if you remember this one or not. It was like he divided students on, two fields, or maybe all these participants, all these psychology department volunteers. They were either
I've heard of the Stanford experience.
Yeah,
I don't remember what
they were either assigned to be officers or jail wardens. They set up this fake jail.
Oh yeah.
And then they also set like half of them to be not the prisoners or whatever. And just like what they ended up doing was nothing short of what like people were citing, the people in Guantanamo Bay, or the military personnel that were taking care of the people in Guantanamo Bay.
Because they gave them the autonomy to
be
go a little bit over the top.
Well, they also gave them the authority.
Bullshit.
Yeah. And so when people like are entrusted with
that, it was like the one where they put people in two groups and they were giving people electric shocks.
Well, that's the Milgram experiment, but that's a different one.
But I'm saying it was kind of similar to the fact that
it's a social psychological experiment, yes, but this one's different in the sense where it was just people went, these are quote unquote normal, whatever that should mean. I hate using that word, but these were people that were, but they weren't necessarily people that were seeking authority. Like, oh, I really, really want to be a police officer one day. Or
did people volunteer one day and were chosen not knowing whether they were going to be a prisoner or a guard?
It was a blind experiment that way or a blind assignment that way. And so the people that were
honestly, there are probably people who either had too much time on their hands or needed the $500 they were paying them to do this fucking
or whatever it was. And it was just like, in the end, I think it was like over a weekend or something like that. And then the video that was coming, I guess my understanding of it is that maybe some of the video or some of the feedback that was coming about was that they were doing horrendous things to these people, whether that be physically shaming them, sexually shaming them, torturing them in some type of way. And then it was just like, oh, they had to shut it down. Like that was it. Is that people that are entrusted with this authority?
So why do you think that is?
Well, I think that people who are given or granted this authority, and maybe this is a perfect example of like my TSA experience today, is that people who are just not blindly given this authority, because I think people apply for these jobs, so maybe they already want this in and of itself. They already want this level of authority. But then the people that are given this power all of a sudden kind of run rampant with it. Well, I'm entrusted with this now.
There's
I'm doing this to protect
who have
America.
Positions of power of some sort that I feel like they put some effort into earning.
Sure, absolutely. There are some people that earn that.
In this experiment, they were just given a bunch of shit.
No, but
do you think there's a correlation to the lottery winners who are poor fucking
people who come
white
from
trash?
Okay.
Or poor, just basically, if you look at lottery studies, like 90% of people who win the lottery apparently blow it all within a ridiculously short amount of time, no matter how much money it is. Because you're talking about somebody who had no money to begin with, which maybe that's poor life choices. Maybe it was, poor situation, poor whatever.
Sure.
Either way, you give someone something they didn't earn and they've never had and they don't know what to do with it. So they just go fucking buck wild with it. Do you think there's a correlation?
I don't.
Giving someone who's never had authority a bunch of authority versus giving someone who's never had money a bunch of money.
Oh, and they just blow it all, or they
blow all the money or the authority thing. They just go buck wild and become a fucking bully.
Oh, I see where your correlation's coming from. Yeah, absolutely. When you phrase it like that, absolutely. I think that it's like, yeah, when people. I will tell you that I think that I don't know the people who I don't, because I think the people who aren't rich, I really really do think that lottery at times really targets the poor, lower class people, because it gives them an opportunity of hope and a way to kind of get out of their social economic situation. So it's like
people
if you make $100 an hour and you buy one lottery ticket at $1, it's not that much of a loss.
No.
If you make $10 an hour, which this is we're using kind of frames, but you can kind of like ratio this down,
right? And
it's still lottery still costs $1. That's a huge chunk of your earnings. Well, I mean,
dude, you look at some athletes. You're a sports guy. Look at athletes, like athletes that come from. They don't come from privilege. They don't come from money, who end up being, signed to huge contracts. As soon as they retire, there's a lot of evidence that shows that a lot of them end up being pretty broke. Even if they were making millions of dollars a year, they end up being broke within a few years after they retire.
Invest in the wrong thing. Or
they invest in the wrong thing, or they were just given given advice by people who were fucking who either weren't qualified or were maybe kind of leeches. And also there's the whole like all of their fucking friends and their family like, dude, everybody comes out of the woodwork when you get a bunch of money or you sign a big contract, and they all want a piece. And that probably has a little bit to do with the whole lottery thing and the athlete thing. But ultimately, yeah, if you give somebody something they didn't necessarily work for and they're not used to, then it could be trouble. Yeah. And it goes back to the whole, with great power comes great responsibility.
Absolutely. And I think it's just so funny because I don't know what the training is for TSA people. I don't know what the training is for police officers. You see it on like National Geographic when they do their half-an-hour shows about how they get maced and how they get tased or whatever, and how they have to come across a situation where they could get shot up, and that's a scary part, right?
No, and that is a scary part.
But at the same time,
do they have classes where they learn communication skills?
Yeah, how to de-escalate a situation
skills
that are actually applicable.
Yeah, like send them to some sales courses, because I got to be honest, every conversation, no matter what's happening,
is a sale.
Is a fucking sale.
You know what's so funny is that it's so funny because we talk about this in the healthcare world.
You're preparing them for the worst shit that could possibly happen, when 80% of the time, the worst shit's not going to happen. And some of the time where bad things do happen, it could have probably been avoided had they just treated it like a sale.
Sure. Or like where both people kind of win or benefit from the interaction.
Hey, look, you were breaking the law.
Yeah.
I got to give you a ticket. I'm sorry. You seem like a nice guy, Steve. Can we make this as painless as possible?
Yeah.
Let me check your driving record. Oh, you haven't had a ticket in the last year? I'm going to let you off with a warning.
Even if you didn't.
Or if I have a quota, I would be like, hey, you know what, man? Look, I hate to do this, but I got to do my job. I got to give you a ticket.
But you know what?
It's no attack on you. Can you please just slow down?
You know what it is, though? And you just kind of pointed out something that I absolutely need to touch base on.
I've never had an interaction with a police officer like that. The best one I ever had that I can remember is a police officer that pulled me over just north of Temecula on the 15, where apparently my speed got cited by a fucking airplane, which you see the signs, speed enforced by aircraft. I thought it was all bullshit. Apparently not. The airplane flies back and forth. It cites people's speed. And then there's cops fucking stationed all along that corridor. Sure. They radio the cop. They say, oh, check out this fucking red car. Yeah. It's a red whatever. Boom. And then that cop pulls you over. So when he pulls me over, he's like, well, you should probably go to court and fight this. I'm like, dude, I got cited by a fucking plane and a cop. I'm just going to pay it. He's like, no. What you have to understand, bro, is that like the pilot and me both have to show up to court. Otherwise, it gets thrown out. And I got to be honest, I don't really like going to court that much. So I was like, well, fuck, I'm going to go fight this because he basically told me he's not going to show up.
Told you how to get
so I go to court and the motherfucker and the pilot fucking show up.
Oh, really?
So I get to court and then it's my turn to speak and I got nothing to say because it's like, well, I was kind of banking on this fucking guy not showing up. He was really nice to me, but he showed up. So I don't know. And then the guy, he's like, no, Mr. Frick was extremely, respectful, blah, 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 but he showed up. So like I had to pay the full fine. And I was so fucking pissed because I'm like, I just wasted like a half a day. You goddamn asshole. But then as I'm walking out, he fucking chased me down and like apologized. So it's like, I'm like, dude, I'm so confused right now.
Well, I need to make a point
it's
here.
It's like, I do like you but whatever, but I could have just saved a half a day of my time.
I need to make a point here. Project Reclamation is not trying to get out of speeding tickets. We're not saying that if we break the law that you should not do it. Because I think honestly you and I would agree.
I honestly just wanted to pay the fine.
Well, no, but I think you and I would agree here and now that if we did break the law, whatever that is, we should absolutely be cited for it. We broke the law and respectfully, we both honor the law. Like absolutely,
for sure.
The law is what protects us. People are what protect us too. They are assigned to these jobs, absolutely. But at the same time, it's the sentiment of the law though too. Like, okay, great. Like I'm more than willing to, and like I said, I've been pulled over, and I don't know. I would have appreciated it more if saying, hey, you know why I pulled you over? That's always the question, right? I think sometimes people hear you, and then you can see a bunch of YouTube kind of videos, and I don't know what happened before the video. I don't know if the driver was flipping him off or anything like that. But you see that the cop kind of comes in there hot and angry, and it's just like, okay, look, I admit that I did wrong because I've obviously pulled over and I'm willing to, take my lumps or take,
it's not, hey, Mr. Chang, do you know why I pulled you over? I mean, that has happened to me. I appreciate that.
And I get
but
that
it's usually this, do you know why I pulled you over, son?
Yeah, or it's like, hey, driving.
I don't know, because you got beat up in junior high and you're fucking pissed about it.
License and registration. And it's like, okay, hi, I don't even know why I'm being pulled over. Or maybe you do. Maybe it's inarguable if I was going 50 in a 35
it's like, dude, there's somebody whose car is broken down a half a mile back who needs help. And I was going 3 miles over the speed limit, and you're wasting your time with me.
Well, I don't know if they would ticket you for going 3 miles. I don't know.
No, I've gotten a ticket for going 3 miles over the speed limit.
The purpose is that maybe what I need to say is that Project Reclamation is not trying to get out of tickets. We're not trying to
well, it's like
we're not trying to say don't do your job.
It's like what I was saying earlier.
Hey, if that's we are totally law-abiding citizens, but you know what? It's not even service with a smile. It's honestly there needs to be a better there could be probably a better format with that entrusted power. Well, that you can extol that power and you can do it, in a more human, more humane way. For sure, when it goes both ways, and I think I tried to convey this earlier. But if you're the person getting pulled over, be respectful, be friendly, be human. That's our job. And then to you cops or TSA agents, if the person that you're interacting with is being respectful and pleasant and human, you should probably reciprocate that same thing. Absolutely.
I'm not reaching for anything.
You don't
I'm
want
not
no special favors. We're not trying to get all special favors.
Like I said, ultimately, if I get pulled over, if I was doing something wrong, I'm happy to
own up to what you've done. Do my
thing. Yes, own up to whatever I did.
We take responsibility here at Project Reclamation.
My biggest thing is just please take the least amount of my time as possible.
So Tim doesn't want to be inconvenienced
But that being said, I try to be as respectful, polite, and nice as possible. I feel like I'm doing my part to make that a quick process. So I feel like some of these people could do a better job reciprocating that. Now I understand when you pull someone over, some people are dicks about it. And then maybe maybe whatever interaction follows that has something to do with the person who got pulled over. I understand that. However, we're not all like that. Some of us are just like, yes, sir, no, sir. Thank you, sir. Yes, maybe I was speeding. I'm not really sure. I wasn't paying attention. But if you think I was speeding, I don't know. Why don't you tell me what I was doing? Why don't you tell me why you pulled me over? Because you pulled me over. So please just tell me so we can talk this through and get it done. And you can write me the ticket or not write me the ticket. I don't fucking know.
One of the things that I really, really want to touch base on, because I also want to put another positive spin on this, is that, you know what, we always talk about empowering yourself here at Project Reclamation. We always do believe in you, okay? You being the best you that you are, and that you have the potential to become. Yeah. That's the best portion about what we try and like kind of infuse or instill within all the listeners. And yeah, we might have our gripes, but the biggest thing is that when we gripe about something, maybe that invites you and it gives you an opportunity to say, hey, when you're listening to this, hey, if I ever am in a situation where I am entrusted with someone's with power, with authority, with kind of some leverage or with a platform, what am I going to do with that? Am I going to be the person that says, finally, I can start kind of commanding from up top and start dictating down like what needs to be done and how I can do it? And I'm going to be Bossy Pants Magoo. If that's what you want to be, that's fine. But I think that's what we're kind of hitting at here. Or that's what we're kind of trying to tackle is that, you know what, it may work. It may work for what you need it to do, but it's not going to work for long, or it's not lasting. Or maybe the people that are imprisoned to follow you because of their job or because of their position that's lesser than yours may not may not believe in your vision. They are just doing it because they have to, or they're doing it because other things are upheld by it, whether that be their paycheck or whether that be their pensions or whatever it is might be, you know, or their health, or maybe their driving record. You owe it. You owe it to yourself, but you also owe it to the people that are following or that you are leading or that you are entrusted to govern or power or have that considerable or consensus power over, to do it in a humane way, to actually be in a spot where you can confidently and correctly kind of gonna drive that car with everyone that's in tow, looking out for everyone's best interest. And if you want to be an asshole, I guarantee you that when you look back at times, maybe after a week, a day, or a month at the helm, you may see fewer and fewer people behind you, because with that great power does come that great responsibility of taking care of the people that you're entrusted to look after. And you may say, well, that's why I'm an asshole. That's why I'm a TSA asshole, because I need to make sure that the country is safe. You got to really, really think to yourself that you're not one person. I don't feel like can save them all. Yeah, you might find that one big drug buster. You might find that one big bomb that someone's. Sure, you might have found that on your own through the X-ray machine or because someone looks suspicious. Okay, I'll give you that. But on a daily basis, everyone that you're interacting with also is a little bit more. They're a little more fearful too, right? You're the sign that like we have is a white coat syndrome.
Yeah, you make us nervous.
Office. Yeah. You have white coat syndrome. When you pull us over, the lights are shining anyways, and you're coming up on the passenger side, and the big old bright light is just flaring. I don't even see anyone coming, and I'm like, oh, okay, I'm already like kind of scared. I'm already nervous. Oh, my insurance is gonna go. Oh, what am I gonna do? What are they gonna cite me for? I don't know what I was being pulled over for. I have 10,000 things on my mind, and all of a sudden you're an asshole again.
How much money is this gonna cost me?
Yeah.
How long is this gonna take? I'm fucking late for this meeting.
And if you're an asshole about it too, it just makes it even worse. So it's like already, how do you diffuse a really, really tense situation?
For sure.
You make a joke. Sure, I don't know. Don't make a joke. It's like you could be an asshole even more, and then just extrapolate it.
Be human. Be nice.
Yeah, it's just like, oh my gosh,
normal. Like treat people. And I
you see that lengthy security check-in line at the airport. Oh my God, it's whining like a snake, like a Disneyland snake in the summer. And then you're going, okay, I need to get 20 minutes of my, and you're already an asshole already. Just chill, dude. With that great power comes great responsibility.
Is the shit, by the way.
Does that mean I don't have to deal with the TSA agents?
No, you do. But I feel like
I don't care for it.
Yeah, but the line is way shorter.
Sure.
You don't have to go through the whole woof, 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 woof. You just got cancer machine. And it's just quicker. And I feel like they're like the ones who work the fucking pre-check line. They're like way more chill.
They're the nicer ones.
Or maybe just way lazier.
They're the ones who are
because they're like, none of these people have bombs. We're cool. Like they went through some sort of government check or something. I don't know. But but I think this goes for everybody. Maybe you have a job or a position where you have some authority. So keep that in mind. I think maybe look at the definition of leader and dictator. Maybe think of some leaders, or if you're a sports guy, like think of some sports coaches. There's coaches who are harsh but fair and get results. So that's cool. But then there's also coaches who they don't get results because they don't do things right and nobody respects them. I think a true leader gets respect. A shitty leader maybe gets some fear, which can be productive for a short amount of time, but it doesn't have a lasting effect. But ultimately, I think we all have situations of authority or superiority throughout the day. If you're driving through an intersection and there's some homeless person, camped out on the island, you are obviously on some level superior to that person, I think. But you could treat that one of two ways. I'm not saying you need to give that person $1 or a sandwich or whatever.
You may be socially...
But you could at least smile at that person, say, hey, good luck or something. I don't know. But in every interaction you have, there's people we look up to. There's people we look down on, whether it's conscious or subconscious, it happens. What I'm saying is, regardless of the person, whether you're looking up to them or down to them, just keep in mind they're a human being and treat them like that. And I think if we all did that, I think interactions would get immediately better. And I think the world would be a better place within like a week.
Damn.
Boom.
That's strong.
Look, we took something, it seemed negative. We tried to spin it positive. Now we just gave you something, a little homework that could make the whole world a better place. This is Project Reclamation, changing the world. I'm kind of kidding. I'm really not special. And I can only do what I can do. I can change Mission Valley. I can change with Steve and I can change.
I think Mission Valley's better because
we can change a few blocks in San Diego. The only way any of this is going to have a huge lasting effect is if we all do this. Because that's all I'm saying. I'm not saying, and I'm sure it's not a fucking original idea, but I'm just saying if we all approached every interaction with a little bit more humanity, a little bit more positivity, a little bit more, how can I be nice? It just goes back to like reclamations and everything else we talk about. Like whether it's the grocery store cashier or your fucking barista at Starbucks or the homeless person sitting on the island trying to fucking collect a few dollars or
whatever,
your neighbor that you walk by when you're walking your dog. Like just try to be fucking nice and try to put a smile on their face. Try to leave people just a tiny bit happier than when you found them. I don't know. Damn. Call it crazy.
It's crazy.
Crazy.
But we're crazy enough to kind of put it out there for you guys to listen to.
I'm crazy in love with all of you.
Damn.
I mean, not in like a romantic way.
No, it's in the Ariel kind of way.
I mean,
where you think you're hot in a comic book kind of thing.
You think you're hot in a comic book, half fish kind of way. And no. I'm just saying, I'm not a super positive, super whatever guy, but I have some ideas. And I think if we all kind of put them into practice, I think we could all make the world a better place.
Bam.
So my challenge to you is join me. Let's do this shit.
Yeah.
That's all I got, Steve.
That's all I got, too. Thanks for listening, as always.
All right. Peace out. Be good. Bye.
So what I believe you were trying to say is thank you.